You are now listening to the sounds of DJ P. Cutter.
Hello everyone, this is David Mowa, aka Pyramid Giza, bringing another episode of Truth and Spiritual Ministries. This is another segment. I'm here to just, elaborate more on all these other occult subjects and subjects which we, look upon in our life on a day-to-day basis, but we seem not to see. Because, as the Bible says, you have eyes, but you do not see. So, it shows us that, these kind of esoteric subjects are just hidden from the people. That's why they're called occult subjects. And occult simply is a Latin word which means hidden. The medical field and the doctor profession knows it very well. It's in the sense that basically when a doctor is in surgery and a doctor is taking out an organ in order to get to another organ, that is considered occult organs. So it's hidden. It's a way of sight. So in saying all that, occult doesn't mean any evil or devil worship or anything like that. No, it simply means things which are hidden, which are kept away from the people. And the majority of important knowledge which the people need to survive and to get freedom has always been hidden from the people, and that's the only way for them to continue to grow stronger in their exploitation and tyranny which they have been shedding upon the human race as long as humans have been existing for. And just until the founding of America, that was the only possible time which we had freedom to do whatever we wish to do, freedom to love one another and to be with our families and to think the way we wish to think and to believe on any religion which we wish to believe on. But that all ended when the new Constitution of America was signed back in 1840, 1860s. But, this is a very esoteric subject for us to, continue to elaborate on. But, I believe that my job is not easy, but I believe that someone has to do it, and that someone has to be me, because my spirit is pushing me towards these dark sides of our world today and of things which people don't see and which has so much answers to all the unanswered questions which we see on a day-to-day basis. So in saying all this, I'm telling you this point blank, speaking this from David Mowa. This is from my own behalf. I'm voluntarily saying this, that I myself, I would rather be the way everybody else is, of ignorance is bliss, of not knowing anything, because I would be much happier in the state which I'm in if I was in the state which the majority of the human race is on today, of just, going along to getting along and just, following one another and just living based on other people's expectations of you and just pleasing others and not truly living for your own divine spiritual will and just continuing on your own path and doing your own thinking and your own individuality, response upon any subject, and just, thinking based on your own true behaviors and how you think that you should act, not how other people make you act and how other people, consume you to act. So this is a very empowered subject, and it does uplift the mind and uplift the spirit into greater heights in maturity, wisdom, and knowledge and understanding. But all I could say is that, people have to, accept to gain this knowledge and not accept to be ignorant, because in today's time, in the age of information, ignorance is a choice. You choose to be ignorant if you wish to be ignorant. So, this road is not very pretty, so I understand why a lot of people don't go down this road, but this road is the valley which will, uplift you to greater heights and allow you to see true success in not only your life, but in individuals around you. Because when you begin to, lift up to the Spirit and you live within the Spirit, you tend to emit that spiritual success, that spiritual activity which you have with the great divine Spirit by following His will, which He has set for you on this earth. And that will emit off of you, and it will allow people around you to learn also from you. So then you will now become a leader, or what society calls, a very spiritual Renaissance man, a man which looks to bring freedom upon this earth, a man which looks to bring sovereignty onto this world and complete freedom, which the United States of America set and shown the world in 1776, when the greatest constitution that has ever been signed in the human race was signed by 23 Freemasons in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1776, which constituted the United States of America Constitution, which gave the people of America absolute sovereign of their own life, the Bill of Rights, and the Constitution which they are covered by, which allows them to be free and be protected by the Bill of Rights and the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. So America set a very huge example for our world, because that was the first time in human history which we had that kind of government working for us. But that time is over now. Through our ignorance and through our unawareness, it has slipped away from us, and we have lost everything. We have lost our government, we have lost our families, we have lost our spiritual connection with the divine, we have lost what we truly love on this earth, because I believe that the majority of people in this society, they'll give up on what they truly love to please others, because in today's society it's more about fame than about success. But I believe that there's still some people on this earth today who are still in their connection with themselves, and they still think on their own, and they still think with their own individual mind, and still continue to strive to be the best they wish to be on whatever they do in this world, because that is true success, that is true love, that is true passion utterly for your doings, for what you truly love to do on this earth, because that is what will truly bring you your happiness. Because like I said in other segments, in other previous episodes on Truth and Spiritual Ministries, whatever you truly love doing, that will bring you happiness. It doesn't matter about how much money you have, how much wealth, or how much salary which you obtain on a year-to-year basis, but success and happiness comes from doing what you truly love. You have to get into your consciousness, your subconscious mind, and you just truly have to love it. You have to dream about doing it every single day of your life. You have to go to sleep and dream about doing what you wish to be and what you're working hard towards to become. So if you're trying to become a basketball player or a soccer player or a leader or a politician or a president or whatever the case may be, there's so many subjects, teacher, whatever. There's so many things on this earth which you can fall in love for. But the worst thing is not falling in love for any, or falling in love for all of them. So doing what people please for you to do. So in order for you to begin to recognize yourself and to realize yourself and get to yourself motivational spirit and motivational mindset, you have to wake up and continue to realize that this life is not based on pleasing others, but it's based on you finding yourself. Because once you die, you understand why you're on this earth, and you're on this earth to find yourself. Find yourself by finding God. Finding yourself will uplift you to the Spirit, and it will allow you to continue to live righteously and live with a loving heart and a kind heart towards one another and to the human race. So in saying all this, people have to continue to wake up and begin to realize that, you have to live based on what you wish to do, on what you wish to do for the rest of your life, and what you are truly passionate and in love with, because that is what will guide you out of these chains and bonds which the system sets to us, with this 9 to 5 work and this all other things which, deprive us of our freedom and of our spirit and of our loving to do other things which we truly love. Because what if you love something so much and all you could do is just sit at a desk and just continue doing that desk work consistently 9 to 5 and just living, check to check, or living very lavishly, but just doing that, knowing that you love something on the other side, you love something greater than what your job can give you, and that's happiness. Because it doesn't matter how much money that job may allow you to obtain. If you do not do what you truly love, then you'll never connect yourself to the great divine, and you'll never get that Yahweh spirit, the explosion of happiness. You'll never get that, because Yahweh is not the name for God. Yahweh is an expressive term. It's a Hebrew term in the sense that when you get a garden hose and you grasp that garden hose in order to, allow the pressure of the water to build up on one end of the hose, and then quickly release that hose and allow all the pressure to just shoot out and explode. That is Yahweh. That is why the Jewish physicists said that the world came upon, or the universe came upon, a big bang, where there's a huge balloon in the middle or the center of the vicinity, which I know, or no one knows where the exact location of the center of the universe is, because the universe is never ending. It's like time never ends, timeless. Time is money. So the balloon came in the middle or the center of the vicinity of the world, of the universe, and exploded. So that is the fact of why they call God Yahweh, because it's the expressive term of a big bang, or the release of dynamic energy. That's where you get that explosive in military context, dynamite, right, or explosives, because it's doing the spiritual connection with the divine, and you feel that also in sexual intercourse. And that's where we get the basis of commerce or congress, because if you go do research on those two words, commerce and congress, they both mean sexual intercourse. Because in life there has to be business to prevail, and business even starts from us as human beings, from where there's the man and the woman. The man is what manufactures the child or the new being. The man manufactures the sperm cell, manufactures the child. Then once the man finishes manufacturing the child through sexual intercourse, because a man must go into sexual intercourse in order to lead to the second and third stage of the manufacturing process of that child. So when that man is in sexual intercourse with the woman, he is in the second stage of manufacturing that child. And once he does reach that height or that climax of that sexual intercourse, where he then ejaculates or explosively connects himself with Yahweh and explodes into utter oh my God, where that child now springs out of the man's pelvis and enters into the woman's womb, and now millions and millions and millions of different beings are racing to attach itself to those embryos or those eggs which is found in the woman's uterus. And then once that happens, now that is basically when the factory, which is the man, manufactures the product, and the product is now finished, and now the products are all loaded on the ship or loaded on the truck or in the truck. And whatever sperm cell reaches the embryo first or the egg first in the uterus, that is the egg which will now conceive into a child. And that child is now in what you call the delivering process. And that's what happens when the products have now made it towards the ship or made it in the truck. Now it's in its delivering process. Now that Walmart truck or that Sears or the Bay truck or whatever truck it is for whatever company travels from the factory to the store, it's delivering the product. And now once the product gets to, let's say, the Walmart store at any mall near your home, now it has delivered. The products are in labor because now it's switching commerce, it's switching hands, and it's going to the store. Now you can go purchase that product. So now every product that gets off that ship or that truck needs a certificate of manifest. A certificate of manifest, which shows to the store and shows to all the officials who are looking at this stuff, because no business can be illegally done. It does not work in a society. You have to document everything, or someone's going to go to jail. Ultimately, someone's going to go to jail, and that's called the illegal activity or the black market, whatever you want to call it. And it's just very sad why it's called the black market. I'm not going to explain about that, but I hope you can figure that out. The black market, figure that out. But anyways, going back into the lines of what I was speaking about just a second ago, when that truck gets to Walmart, it has to show a certificate of manifest for every single product. So let's say if it's a bunch of DVDs or a bunch of flat screen TVs or whatever it is, any product, all products in that truck is going to have a certificate of manifest showing the products are okay, they have been delivered correctly, every product is working, we have checked it all, the man has manufactured it, it's all working, every single sign is okay, and then they sign it, and then that's it. The truck driver leaves, the products stay, and now it's available for you as a customer to come tomorrow or come today to purchase it, and that's it. Commerce has been made, done. But then now when you go into the context of the human being, okay, let's go back to what I was saying a second ago or a moment ago. When the sperm cell reaches the embryo or the egg, it now starts the delivering process, and now that child is going to take 9 months to be delivered. It takes a long time for a boat to deliver products from China to America. It takes a long time. It takes a couple of months. Well, about 2-3 months. But for a child to be born on this earth, it takes 9 months. The eclipse time for a child to be born or to be delivered on this earth takes 9 months for our particular creation. 9 months. 3/4 out of the whole cycle. But to go into that, people must understand that after that 9 months has escalated and has completed, that child now comes into this world. And now that child has to have what you call a certificate of manifest. And that certificate of manifest is the birth certificate. That's why we all have a birth certificate. And if you read the birth certificate, it will say Department of Commerce, because that's where the birth certificate go. There's a copy that goes to the government, and there's a copy that they give to you. Right? And that paper is on stock and bonds piece of paper. Your birth certificate is on a stock and bonds piece of paper. It's on a bank note. Why is it on a bank note? Because you are a stock. You are, by law, worth money. Approximately $6 million you are worth on the New York Stock Exchange and on all the stock exchanges found all around the world. You are bought and sold and sold from different countries, etc. And that's how it works, because the more human beings a country is able to document, the more credit which they receive from the international bankers, which are the Knights Templars, which did the Crusades, which killed millions and millions of innocent women and children in the 11th, 12th, 13th century, going into villages and killing and burning and hanging women and children by the stake. The Knights Templars, which came from the church, which came from the Vatican. But then after the Crusades, they began to realize that why are we going to take all the money which we get? Because after, you got to understand, after these knights, these brutal knights, go into a village and brutally kill and plunder and hang to the stake these innocent women and children, what do they do after? They go in there and they take all of your possessions, all of your jewelry, all of your money, all your wealth, everything you have, all your assets. And in those times, it was mostly gold and jewelry and diamonds, etc. Money was just in the upcomings at those times, and it later then manifested into the United States dollar, the Canadian dollar, etc. But the United States and Canada weren't even constitutionally signed yet. It wasn't even part of the world in those times. But anyways, so they would take all of those gold and jewelry and diamonds and assets to take it back to the Vatican. And in those trips, let me get off this kind of topic for a bit, but let me ask a question quickly. How many Christians do you know go to church and do not understand what the word church means? Church goes back to a Scottish word named kirk, K-R-K or K-I-R-E-K, kirk. And that's why there's Captain Kirk and the good ship Enterprise, because church is an enterprise. It's a corporation, just like Walmart, just like General Motors, just like any other corporation which makes money by the billions, makes money. Pay no taxes because they all get their money in donations, but they are a commercially owned company, period. So anyways, going back into those lines of where the word church has come from, the English word church. Church goes back to a Scottish word named kirk, K-R-K. Then kirk goes back to a Roman goddess named Circe. And then Circe translates back to a Greek goddess, and if you read in Greek mythology, her name was Mother Circe. Mother Circe was known, if you read in Greek mythology, Mother Circe would hypnotize people, bring them into her home, and live off of them. And that's what the church does today. They bring you into their house, they teach you, some knowledge and not the full truth, and they live off of you. So Circe goes to Circe, Circe translates back to Kirk, and then Kirk gives birth to the English word church. And how it gave birth to the English word church is because when the Knights Templars were finished with their crusades out in the Middle East, out in Phoenicia, Cana, Babylonia, Sumeria, the Akkadians, etc., all of those ancient Muslim and Islam worlds of the ancient Middle East, they would learn different teachings and different philosophies, and they were taught about Mother Circe. So they took that teachings and those philosophies and they came back to Scotland and then came back to England, and it gave birth to church. And when the Knights Templars had enough with giving all of their wealth to the Vatican, they broke out and they became the Knights of Templar, or the Knights of Malta. And the Knights of Templars then took all of that wealth and started banks. For the first time, the Knights Templars started banks for the universe, and they became the international bankers. which set it up the Federal Reserve System and the IRS and the Canada Revenue and the Canadian banknote, and all of the money in the world comes from the international bankers, which were the Knights of Templars, which manifested from the Vatican back in the 11th, 12th, and 13th century. But how many people know this? How many people know this? How many Christians know the word Jesus Christ and what it means? So many Christians are talking about the Antichrist, and the Antichrist is coming back, and all of this in the scriptures of Revelation, which was written by John, right? How many people know this? How many people even know what the word Christ means? Christ goes back to a Greek word called Christo, and then that word goes back to a Roman word called Crisco. That's why you have Pillsbury cooking oil called Christos. So Christ is oil. So that's why you have Jesus, the oil. And why is he the oil? Because Jesus is the anointed one, and you have to get anointed by anointing oil. And being the anointed one is being the one, the Savior, the Messiah. So Jesus is oil. Christ means oil. So there's so many occult and hidden things which the human race are not privileged or privy to know, and it's just very baffling and very puzzling when you begin to really investigate these subjects and investigate these words and terms and understand that the world is truly not what people think it is. It's far, far more occult and demonic and filled with depravity and exploitation and tyranny, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. So the more we change, the more we stay the same. When we begin to, I personally have come to a realization, and it's just an incredible realization, that I believe personally, without a shadow of a doubt, that this human race, it's in its nature to be corrupt. It's in its nature to be a slave. And that word is very profound. Honestly, I'm just going on off the top of my head right now, because this is what I do. This is Truth and Spiritual Ministries. This is where I let out all of the wisdom and knowledge with no strings attached, no censorship, no mainstream views, no mainstream ideologies and mainstream filters. No. This is the truth. This is called Truth and Spiritual Ministries. This is where I give you the real truth, the truth which some people can't handle. That's why in that movie, when Tom Cruise asked Jack Nicholson, I want the truth, and Jack Nicholson is like, what do you want? You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. And that's exactly what's going on in this world today. People can't handle the truth. But this is Truth and Spiritual Ministries, and I give you all the truth. All of the truth. You want the truth? The truth is that you never had the truth. When you think that you have the truth, you don't got it yet. When I think that I have everything laid down and I have all the puzzle correctly, a lot of people in my life, Emmanuel, all of them, they're right. I've been doing what I do for the past 5 years. And when I think I had it all laid out, no. There's one higher than the high one, and he looks down, and you still don't have it yet. So understand that this is a very huge subject, and the only way to go upon these subjects is humility. Humility is the first thing one must have approaching these subjects, because it's not going to be looked upon, and the person who talks about it or the person who expresses it in society is going to be looked upon and frowned upon and given the shoulder back and not given any friendship or any opportunities to have any friends, etc. But this is what I do. This is what I do. This is called Truth and Spiritual Ministries. This is what I do. I give you everything. You know, this is not censored, this is not filtered. No, I give you everything. You want the truth, I'm gonna give you the truth. Stay tuned to my show. Stay tuned to what I'm about to bring, who I'm about to bring on this show, because this is incredible. And also stay tuned for all of the CDs and the mixtapes which I'm about to produce in the upcoming future, which I'll be able to, you know, give upon to people, because I have certain individuals who will spread this word and spread my projects and my products which I'm about to promote very shortly. So, you know, just stay tuned. But this is Truth and Spiritual Ministries. You know, if you want the truth, seek for the truth. But if you want a show, if you want a podcast, if you want a lecture, a sermon, a preach, if you want an inspirational works or inspirational mind, stay tuned to my works, stay tuned to my show, because I'm going to bring by far the most profound and spiritual people that you have ever met. And I want to also speak about things that you will never ever know, ever. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Truth and Spiritual Ministries, and have a great day, everybody. God bless you all.